everyone. This is your girl Ebonice. I'm coming to you with yet another video, and this time, yes, it's about hair. It's about my thinning hair journey. Many people have asked me, Ebonice, what are you doing to combat the hair thinning? So I recently went and got a retie with my consultant, and I have the footage from some of the discussions that we had about hair thinning, some ways that you can prevent hair thinning, and then I have some gruesome pictures that you can see that it's just unfortunate, but I'm so excited that my hair is growing back. But listen, these are some graphic pictures from where my hair was. I mean, it was thinning so bad. But hopefully, through this video, you guys will be encouraged to take some of the tips that we're offering, and then also be mindful of how you're treating your hair. And if you need some assistance, go get it as soon as possible, because child, I didn't. And I started doing things on my own. We'll get into it in the video. But if that's something that you want to listen to, stay tuned. So you guys have asked about, Ebonice, how in the world are you combating this thinning? So I am here to talk about that, and I'm also here to introduce you to my consultant. So let's have a little story time. Charlita, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, so my name is Charlita. I am a Sisterlock consultant and loctician located in Indiana. I have been doing Sisterlocks for 3 years now. I just recently became a full-time Sisterlock consultant and took Ebonice on as a client, and so we just been rocking and rolling. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna tell y'all, when I came to her, I was the longest hair person that she had, and now I'm not anymore. I'm still trying to get over that, but let's get into story time. All right, so when I initially, so I've had Sisterlocks for 5 years, as I mentioned before. When I initially found out that my hair was thinning, I was at a wedding. They were recording the wedding, and when I went back to look at the recording, I noticed that I had a small patch of I said small, that ain't small, right? It was probably about that big, patch of like thin locks. And I was like, oh man, I wonder if that is, just the way my retightening was, what was going on. And so I didn't think anything about it. And then I noticed that it started to like get larger. And basically when I say get larger, think about each lock and think about how many hair follicles go into each Sisterlock. So as your hair, because let me just say this, I didn't have where my locks were coming out. I know that that's a common thing that happens to people when they're receiving or experiencing thinning, that their Sisterlocks are coming out. None of these Sisterlocks have come out. You hear me? None. They're all in there. But what happened was, my Sisterlock started doing the electric slide. So where they were two together like this, they became like separate. They were like, we ain't gonna gel in the same area. And so that was one way that I started noticing thinning. Then the other thing that I noticed was, let's just say that I had 50 hair strands in one Sisterlock. Well, I started noticing that I was now having 15. That's a huge difference, right? So when it changes the base, it also makes it look thin. So those are the two things to look out for when you're thinking about, is my hair thinning? So anyway, I start noticing the space become more sparse and it start getting bigger and bigger. I would say that I'm one of those type of people that if something's going on with my hair, I'm doing all the things to try to remedy it. That's not always a good thing. So then I started using, what is that hair loss stuff that people use? Rogaine. I started using the female version of Rogaine, and I put it in the spot. Now, listen, read the directions. Come close. Read the directions. I was reading the directions, knew better. It said only apply in the spot. I said, oh no. I want my hair follicles just flourishing everywhere, y'all. I put it in the spot. I put it towards the front. I put it towards the sides. Now, here's what you don't know. When you use those type of products, you will see your hair look sparse first before you start to see it flourish. Well, then my mom passed away. So not only did I have no hair, but then, because it was going through the process, but then due to stress, my hair was still thinning. And so like it was looking y'all, a girl's hair was looking crazy. I remember seeing the funeral pictures when I was turning around hugging somebody. I had a whole patch of nothing. I'm telling you, my locks was doing the electric slide. And Sharnita can attest to that. When I first came to her and I had gotten my hair done in the front, my locks said nope. And I had a big patch. So okay, that's that. But like, make sure that you read the directions. Make sure if you're going to use anything to apply, any topical to apply to your scalp, that you follow directions to a T. Now, so I had stress. I had been using the product incorrectly, which in return, and I'm going to insert pictures now. Scalp just got bad. It got really bad. And I was trying to be faithful to like that supplement, and I said I needed to stop. So fast forward, I decided to stop getting retightenings every 6 to 8 weeks. And actually I was on a 8-week regimen. And I just said that I was going to get it done 4 times a year and that I was going to start going to a scalp specialist. I went to a scalp specialist. She did a phenomenal job. I don't listen. If I had to tell y'all what she used, I just know that she told my follicles to listen. Lazarus, rise up. For all y'all church people, know the Lazarus story. Lazarus come forth. Listen, every single hair follicle in my head that was named Lazarus was up and at attention, honey. And so my hair has been growing back. And I haven't been putting as much tension on my hair either, right? So where I was pulling my hair into tight hairstyles or just like not being careful with my hair, like I stopped doing all of that. And we have seen success, and I can't wait to show y'all. So I'm going to insert a picture right now. To the dermatologist. Y'all, I done been to 118 dermatologists. And I could tell y'all many stories, but I'll save it and just won't do that because I just don't want to out dermatologists and I don't want to talk bad about dermatologists. But sometimes they don't know our hair. Let's just be honest. They don't know our hair. And so one lady told me, she was like, hey, this is your iron. Girl, I've been taking iron supplements since I was like 4. What do you mean it's my iron? It's more than that. But another lady, she was just like, oh yeah, you have CCCA or whatever. I didn't have none of that. I didn't have none of it. I just needed to change what I was doing. So if you go to a dermatologist, go with caution. That's my advice. Now, that's my advice with no education, but just experience. Charlita, what would you say your advice would be?
I would say if your retightenings are painful, make sure you inform the loctician that's doing your hair that your hair is feeling tight, and then they can loosen how close they're going to your scalp. If you're noticing your hair popping while they're doing the retie, then they're probably breaking some of the hair that's gathered into the lock. So make sure there's no popping and no cutting. Oh man, if someone is cutting, like cleaning up their parting with cutting, then they could be cutting hair that's going into that lock. So if you can't clean up the parting with just the finger, or you know, if you need a scissors for like 1 or 2 hairs that's in between that's connecting, make sure that they're not just going through cleaning up the parting with scissors, because that's thinning out the locks. Also, I would say separate your hair before you come, because then again they don't have to pull a hair apart, and that could pop your hair as well, and reduce the number of hair that's going into your locks. So make sure you're separating. Make sure they're not using scissors.
Can we talk about hairstyles and like
Yes.
pulling, especially like in the front, pulling your hair like I'm not gonna
don't I wouldn't do too tight of a style, and definitely don't, if you do a style, don't leave it in past I would say past a week. Or if you're gonna do a style, 2 weeks tops. I wouldn't go past that. So anytime I'm doing a style on somebody, I'm like, don't keep this in. Like, if this is a special occasion or something you want your hair to be done for a certain time, after a week, take it down, let your hair breathe. Don't just like leave it in, and definitely don't do it extremely tight to where, because the retightening is already pulling the hair in. You don't want a style that's pulling on that. That's just way too much tension on the hair. If you're doing it all the time and things like that, yeah.
Can we talk about combining locks?
Yes, and so one of the things when Ebony's came, I was like, your locks are way too small. Some of them need to be combined. And so you have to be aware of like, and sometimes the person that's putting it in, they're like, your hair looks healthy at the beginning. It's like, okay, we're going to put this amount of locks in. But the loctician, the consultant over time needs to be actively looking at your hair and seeing she's thinning, and inform the client, hey, you're thinning. Or if you're the consumer, hey, how's my hair looking? One thing that I appreciate about Ebonice is because she's always asking, how's my hair looking? Am I thinning anymore? What's going on? Always have a relationship with your consultant to where you feel comfortable with talking to them about your hair, and not just going to retightenings and thinking, oh, my hair is good. Because when I looked at the pictures from the wedding, I was like, your hair is definitely thinning, and so want to make sure y'all have a relationship where you're talking and make sure y'all communicating on, hey, there's a spot up there that's thinning. Maybe the tension is too tight, things like that. Feel comfortable with your loctician to where you can talk and have a relationship with your hair, because your hair is your glory, and you don't want to just be willy-nilly out here and then you run upon something and you're like, why is my hair looking like that? Or your family noticing your hair is thinning. Your loctician should be able to tell you, hey, your hair is thinning, let's come up with a plan.
Yes, and health.
Yeah.
Taking care of your body, because I know that a lot of times it is the inside of your body, right? If you suffer with inflammation can also cause the hair follicle not to project outside of your hair. Because of the inflammation, it could stifle the growth coming out of the scalp. And I know that I had experienced that at one point. So I had to change my diet, even down to like maybe not eating so many red meats. You don't think about that. Or if you're not active, listen, y'all, let me just tell you a quick funny story. One of my friends told me if I stand on top of my head that was gonna cause the blood circulation to flow in my head. Y'all, I get on the wall. You remember how you used to do a headstand? What I forgot was I'm not 135 pounds. I'm well over 135 pounds. So when I tried to do the headstand, y'all, I fell, and my husband looked at me and was like, babe, you okay? Babe, you all right? I mean, y'all, when I tell you I fell hard, I was like, see, I had a zeal. But I did not listen to my muscles that said, listen, we ain't done that in years. So I say that jokingly, but seriously, just make sure that you're exercising and make sure that you're getting all your nutritions. And if you're not taking a vitamin, make sure that you're taking something just to help, the overall health of your body. I know a lot of times we suffer from the lack of minerals, right? So just make sure you're getting all your minerals and vitamins and everything in, because that also can play a part. And it's not always that it's CCCA. It's not always that, you know, it's just you're older. I mean, it could truly just be some other things. And if you would like just do some housekeeping things with your hair and your body, it could come back, you know. Just saying. And when y'all see the pictures, well, by now you've already saw the pictures, but yeah, a girl's hair is coming back. So thank you, Jesus. Glory. Well, listen, I'm not going to stay on here long. Y'all know I can talk, but thank you so much, Charlita, for letting me do this video and us just kind of talk about hair. The audience wanted to know what I was doing to combat hair thinning. So just to recap on what I done, I expanded my time of getting my retightenings. I waited longer. I am making sure that I'm taking care of the inside of my body, and I am making sure that I'm washing my hair every week. Oh, that was a whole nother thing, washing your hair every week, because you can get buildup on your scalp and it can look like bad. Okay. I will put pictures in here, because the lady who did my scalp and was working with trying to get my hair follicles back to life, she did some micro scopes where you could see like my scalp really, really close on, and you could see like where I had buildup on my scalp. Listen, if you got buildup on your scalp, that hair follicle is not coming out. You're burying the like the hair follicle from being able to come out. And especially with us with Sisterlock, we will go we will go a whole month without washing our hair. Me being guilty, let me raise my hand up high. And all that buildup, even though you're not putting products in your hair, you're still getting buildup. And depending on what type of shampoo you're using, that will also contribute to buildup on your scalp. So please be mindful. Make sure you're using the right products. I will also put a picture of the shampoo and conditioner that I'm using. All right, bye.